My parents refused to do that, and said that I shouldn't waste my time on useless trips when I could be spending it on studying. But my sister was allowed to go, and the pics she took with the horses were plastered all around our house. Apparently, they thought that every time I walked past them, I would be reminded to work harder. But all it did was ruin my mental health. I avoided any areas with those photos, and ended up being confined to my room if I wasn't at school. This persisted throughout high school, and I didn't get higher than a C. My sister was a straight-A student, and got accepted into the most prestigious university in the state. Meanwhile, I had to settle for a community college because I couldn't afford anything else without a scholarship. When my parents saw where I was going to attend college, they called me a disappointment and kicked me out, telling me to go live in the dorms. I was devastated and knew that I could never earn their acknowledgement, and often cried myself to sleep. But fortunately, this college is also where I met my wonderful husband. He had already built a successful business at the age of 19, and was just attending college, so he had a degree to put on the wall. We shared a class and he surprisingly asked me to help him with the assignments. I told him that I'm not a top student, and he's better off asking someone else. But he told me that my way of studying was really simple and easy for him to follow. We started hanging out together and became really good friends. Once he found out about how my parents treated me, he offered to pay for my therapy and help me get over my past. If not for him, I would still be struggling with my trauma and anxiety over not doing well in life. When we were in our final year of college, he proposed to me with a diamond ring and asked me to marry him. I said yes without hesitation because I knew he was the love of my life. A few days after that, I returned home to tell my family about my engagement. I also told them about my fiancé's business, and that I wanted to live with him as a housewife instead of going to work. As soon as I said that, my sister began laughing at me. She called me a gold digger, and said that she knew I would always end up living like this. I didn't know how to respond and looked to my parents, thinking they had matured while we were in college, but to my absolute shock, they agreed with her. They told me, "Fine, go live your life behind closed doors while your sister makes a name for herself." I knew I was going to start crying again, so I just ran out. My sister's remark about me being a gold digger hurt me way more than anything else, because I began thinking I was taking advantage of my future husband. I rushed to his side to apologize, and desperately told him that I wasn't a gold digger. Thankfully, he quickly understood the situation and comforted me, and claimed that I would never have to go back to that house again. From then on, I stopped contacting my family and focused on the more important things. I lived in a wonderful house with my amazing husband, and had 2 kids with him. Taking care of them while he went to work was fun and exhausting, but I didn't mind it at all. Before I knew it, 10 years had passed until I had any contact with my family. That's why I was surprised when my sister called me out of the blue. She started off by asking how I was doing, and I immediately got suspicious. I knew that something serious would have happened for her to call out of the blue like this, and straight up asked her what was wrong. Apparently, she had failed to make a name for herself like my parents claimed she would, and was struggling to find a job. She didn't have a husband or kids, and lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. I felt really bad for her because I knew she had a lot of potential. However, then she asked me if I could send her some money. I thought I had misheard it at first, and asked her to repeat it. But it was true, and I said, "You do realize that you are literally asking for money from the girl that you berated and called a gold digger?" She admitted that she knew that, and I thought she was about to apologize. But to my absolute shock, she told me, "However, I was right about you. The money you have right now is your husband's anyway, right? So that makes you a gold digger. Now, stop being jealous over the truth and just help me." I couldn't believe her audacity. Although, perhaps if I was the same girl as I was in middle school, I would have actually helped her. I told her that I would discuss it with my husband first and hung up the phone. But I wasn't going to disturb my husband with this small matter. He does give me checks every month to spend on myself and the kids. And since I never managed to spend all of it, the money had saved up and I actually had a lot. I was going to make sure that my sister got all the money that she deserved. I sent her a single penny along with the caption, "Here's the gold digger money that you hate so much."